On one end, the president.
I am thrilled to be here, deep in the heart of Texas.
And on the other, one of his many opponents.
We, those of us here together, standing to be counted, are the answer to that fear.
The president seeking re-election, while Beto O'Rourke looks to gain traction in the Democratic race for the White House. This is the tale of two rallies, held at the same time, just 30 minutes apart. Over 25,000 citizens flooded the streets of Dallas to attend the Trump rally, creating a line nearly a mile long, some in support and some in protest. Supporters had lined up for hours, some even a day in advance, to make sure they were able to get into the American Airlines Center, which has a max capacity of 20,000.
If I don't get in there, it's still worth it. The experience, being part of history, being part of the movement, I love it. I love every bit of it.
The president talked about the current state of Texas, a red state that has become more blue in recent years.
It's never been a better time to be a proud Texan.
Even though Beto has lost ground in the polls, Trump did not hesitate to take a few shots at his close proximity rival.
A very dumb Democrat candidate for president, that's the end of him in this state, pledged to revoke the tax-exempt status of many churches and religious charities.
At the Verizon Theater in Grand Prairie, a smaller crowd of about 5,500 attended O'Rourke's rally against fear. But while the numbers were lower, the passion was all the same. Beto gave his stance on Trump's presidency, immigration, and gun control.
At a time that some would want to build cages for kids or walls to divide us, we're building bridges to connect us.
Even with a crowd of over 20,000 people supporting the opposition just 30 minutes away, Beto's dedicated supporters were not intimidated.
They don't scare me one bit, because I know that all of these people here, my friends, all of these other people here, Americans, they are going to be behind us all the way come November.
It was the tale of two rallies.
And we will make America great again.
Both fighting to win the second largest state in the country in what will undoubtedly be yet another historic election.
I love you guys. I will see you down the road on the trail.
Reporting for NT Daily News, I'm Noah Borden. I am standing where a UNT student's car suddenly exploded yesterday, damaging the surrounding vehicles and leaving behind a charred parking lot. I got a chance to speak with the owner of the car about exactly what went down. It was a normal Wednesday morning for UNT sophomore Clay Daugherty, but while driving home from a friend's apartment, he noticed something was wrong.
I started smelling really heavy smoke, and I thought it was from the bus I was going by, but it turns out that my engine was starting to smoke up.
It was at this moment he knew he had to get out of the car as quickly as possible.
It started spreading everywhere, and I just kind of thought I have to get my backpack, grabbed it, and I called 911 and tried to get out of there.
Daugherty's engine in his 2013 Ford Fusion caught fire and eventually exploded, causing his front hood to blow off and the flames to spread to surrounding cars.
And Clay texted the group me and goes, "My car just blew up." And I was like, "That's a lie. I mean, your car just doesn't blow up." So I walked outside of my dorm to get in my car to go to my class. I look over and I see black smoke in the air and I see fire.
And when Daugherty says it blew up, he means it literally.
Like, the engine was there, and then I looked and I was going, where could the engine even fit? Like, it blew off my whole front of my hood, and I saw it in ash in the air, and it was crazy. I was kind of in shock, like, my car just blew up. Like, how many people can say that in their lifetime?
The explosion totaled 3 of the surrounding cars and caused severe damage to 2. Nobody was injured in the explosion.
I was just glad he was okay.
Daugherty soon found out after the incident that Ford had actually called a recall for over 86,000 units of the 2013 Ford Fusion, a recall that Daugherty did not know about.
We bought the car from someone else, so we never got that. We never got the notice.
It is still not yet known what exactly caused the fire. Daugherty has been in touch with his insurance provider and the Ford Motor Company about trying to get a new vehicle, but until then, he'll just have to take the bus. Live in Denton, Noah Borden, NT Daily News. Several Denton businesses are at risk for losing their space in the University of North Texas. I was able to speak with the universities and business owners about the matter. The campus bookstore has been on Avenue C for 10 years.
We love the spot and appreciate the business over there.
But last week, Brent Erskine found out he may not have a choice. The bookstore might have to move. The University of North Texas Board of Regents recently approved 4 separate motions that would allow the university to acquire several properties along Avenue C through either purchase or eminent domain. These properties include Oriental Express, New York Sub Hub, and Campus Bookstore. Eminent domain would allow the university to take these properties without reaching an agreement with the business owners.
We understand that the university has plans. They have a agenda that they have to achieve as well, and we'll see how the process works. We're hopeful that the university will respect the fact that we not only own the property, but that we have businesses there, and we have families to support, and hopefully they'll be respectful of that.
Associate Vice President for Facilities David Reynolds says using eminent domain is the last option.
You go through a legal process that would allow the state agency to offer a fair market value for the property, but it involves going through a court process, and there's multiple steps. So you'd obviously would much prefer to work directly with the owner and come to an agreeable solution.
The university would rather reach an agreement with the businesses.
The purpose of negotiations, and there will be negotiations with the owner, is really to find a market solution, something that is amenable to both parties. Nobody wants to do something that feels like it's a unilateral action enforced on somebody.
Erskine says for now, the future is uncertain.
There's not too many spots for a bookstore, right?
The university has not yet released its plans for the property. A university spokesperson, Julie Payne, released a statement saying, quote, "The geographic location of the properties along Avenue C make them notable and an ongoing part of the discussion for the university's long-term planning."
Students on campus at UNT will now have a place within walking distance to vote for the upcoming local elections in May. NT Daily's Noah Borden is here to tell us about the City Council's decision.
Council voted Tuesday to add a polling location at the UNT Greek Life Center for the general elections this May. The Greek Life Center will serve as both an early voting and election polling location for the City Council elections. This vote also came with the approval of a voting location at Robson Ranch and eight other locations in Denton. The vote to add these locations was a unanimous 6-0 decision. UNT students attended the City Council meeting to fight for a closer location to vote. They claim the reason for low voter turnout among college students is due to the lack of voting locations close to the UNT campus.
Asking council members to do is what I'd respectfully say is y'all's job. Just give us the basic logistical support we need, which is a polling location within walking distance, to get students to come out and vote.
Councilman Don Duff of District 3 has faced backlash from students claiming he does not support the right for college students to vote in local elections. I was able to speak with him about these allegations. He told me, quote, "That is absolutely not true. I encourage these students to get out and vote. Even if they're only for 4 years, they deserve the right to vote." City Council elections will be held May 4th. For more information on the election and where you can find a voting location near you, visit votedenton.com.